my name is Rose, and I'm from Germany. Please like and subscribe to Luna Avatar. I was born to parents who were rich, so rich that we had several maids, chefs, butlers, and drivers who worked around the clock for me and my crazy family. Dad was a genius on the stock trading platform, and Mom was Miss World in 1998. I loved my family, but they were so used to being spoiled that our entire lives revolved around money. Once when I was 7, I wanted to go camping. So Dad hired a set designer to create a camp set in our massive backyard. He also hired a weird mountain man to entertain us with stories and how to make a campfire.
Who wants to hear a bear story?
Yeah, I do. But my sister Lucy, who was 2 years older than me, had her head stuck in her phone. So our camping experience eventually got boring. And soon after, as I grew up, our family hardly spoke to each other. When I was at school, I was crowned the computer genius. Lucy was popular on social media, and we were both the hottest girls in school. Once when I was in 8th grade, 10 boys asked me and my sister out all at once. These boys were so lame and too desperate for our liking. Lucy and I had a checklist. The guys that we dated needed to be smart, rich, and hot. I wasn't worried so much about the rich part. I preferred intelligent guys, and in my school, all of them were rich but also total smurf brains. And then, one day when I was in the 11th grade, a new boy joined her school and took my title of computer genius. I was kind of jealous at first, but when he smiled at me, I melted, having a huge crush on him. Would you like to go out for ice cream sometime?
Will we be celebrating my new title in the school?
Don't rub it in. After that, Gregory and I became an item. He drove a Ferrari and seemed much richer than my family because he lived in a mansion much bigger than mine. Once, when I was in the 12th grade, I decided to visit him at his house unannounced. And when I got to his house, his parents acted very weirdly. I'm here for Greg.
Oh, he's upstairs.
Okay, can I see him? When they finally let me in, I went to Gregory's room and found him busy with something on his computer. Greg?
What? Who let you in?
I'm sorry. I thought I would surprise you. He looked really angry.
I hate surprises. Don't ever come here without calling first.
I was so mad at him when I left. I felt like just breaking up with him. But then he came over to my house with flowers.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have snapped at you. Please forgive me.
I don't know. You acted so strange. What was more important than me?
I was actually planning a surprise trip for the both of us to Thailand.
I immediately forgave him. He was so romantic, and he obviously loved me since he was spending so much on me. We went to Thailand just for the weekend, and my parents liked Gregory, so they also trusted him while we were there. Gregory was all romantic at first, but then he changed when I wanted to go shopping.
Shopping for clothes? Did you bring your credit card to pay for all those clothes?
What? But you said to take whatever you want and you'll pay.
Yeah, but I didn't expect you to buy the entire store.
Lucky for me, I did have my dad's credit card and managed to pay for my stuff. But the next day, I woke up to a shock. Gregory was gone. He left a note along with my plane ticket back home. He broke up with me on a note saying, "Nice knowing you goodbye." What a jerk. I felt like my world was falling apart. Why would he break up with me this way? When I tried to call his number, it went to voicemail. I had to gather my strength and head back home, and maybe then find out why he suddenly just left. Could it be because of all the clothes I bought? But when I got back home, my family was on edge. Everyone was pacing up and down, and as soon as I entered, Dad rushed up to me.
Rose, where's my credit card? Someone hacked all my trading accounts using my credit card, which is linked to every other account. So, Rose, you have to tell me where that credit card is.
I was totally freaking out and tore my whole bag apart looking for that card. And then I asked Dad to take me to Gregory's house, and when we got there, his mansion was empty. Oh my God, Dad, I think Gregory took all our money. Dad looked at me silently. At first, I thought he was going to blame me since Gregory was my boyfriend, but all he did was remain quiet. But Mom and Lucy went berserk.
We are broke because of your scheming, scamming boyfriend.
How was I supposed to know he was a fraudster? He drove a Ferrari and you liked him, Mom.
Yeah, I did. But he was still your boyfriend. You should have analyzed his intentions.
And then Lucy looked at her phone and screamed like someone died. What happened?
The Wi-Fi isn't working. How am I supposed to post my selfies from this morning?
Oh, I was supposed to pay for that today, but not anymore. Girls, I'll be in my office. I have no idea how I'm going to fix this.
I felt like everyone blamed me for this. And after 2 weeks, all our maids, chefs, butlers, drivers, gardeners, and pool cleaners quit because we couldn't pay them. Dad soon started investigating the matter, which was going to take some time, so we all had to adapt to some changes in our overly expensive lifestyle. We managed to keep the house, and since Dad paid our school fees for the entire year, Lucy and I didn't have to change schools, which was a relief.
Okay, so at school nobody knows we're poor, so let's just try and keep it that way.
Of course, why would I want anyone to know that we're poor? Maybe because it's
All your fault.
I am sick and tired of everyone in this family blaming me for everything. That's just so much pressure. I started crying and Lucy felt bad and apologized.
Okay, I'm sorry, but our life just sucks so much right now.
While we sat sulking about our poverty-stricken life, we heard Mom scream from the kitchen.
Somebody help.
Lucy and I ran down to the kitchen and found the stove on fire and Mom trying to put it out with a tablecloth, and it was reaching for the ceiling.
Ah, it won't stop quickly. Get some water.
While Lucy thought a glass of water would help, I brought the fire extinguisher and thank God was able to put out the fire. But now our entire kitchen was ruined and there was smoke all over the place. We gotta sit outside until the smoke is gone. Come on. We all sat outside on the stairs and Mom was in tears telling me how she was trying to cook but ended up ruining the kitchen.
I guess we'll have to order food. I hope they give us some discount.
Right then, Dad came in, all smiles.
Hello? Everybody?
Oh, did you get our money back?
Nope. I found a job. I'm going back to selling insurance, and once I make some good commission, I'll start trading again and get all the money that we lost.
Well, Daddy's plan didn't follow through the way he saw it. 3 months went by and we were still struggling, and the only thing Dad could afford was food. So I decided it was time to get a part-time job as a waitress.
But Rose, if you work as a waitress, everyone in school will know.
Yes, I know, but maybe if I work I can help Dad pay for the Wi-Fi. Lucy immediately smiled, but she wouldn't dare try to get a job since she cared so much about what people would think. The restaurant I worked at was a classy place where all the rich and mighty dine. And one day while I served a bunch of top-class businessmen, I overheard their discussion about new digital devices. I got excited and couldn't contain myself. I have plenty of ideas for new devices. Imagine having a portable hard drive is something almost like an iPod, but with more space. That way, users will be able to carry all of their important information on one small iPod. We could even make it have a video presentation for business meetings. After I was done babbling, they looked at me, stunned. Then the tall man with a big forehead was so rude.
You can just get our order, please.
I walked away, feeling embarrassed, and then the next worst thing happened when I waited at my next table. They were girls from my school who envied my sister and me all the time, and the worst of them all was Charlotte.
Wow, you work as a waiter? Ha 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 ha, this must be my lucky day. Wait, I have to take a picture of this.
Oh, Charlotte, get over yourself. I work here and earn my own money, unlike you, a spoiled brat forever.
Ugh, that's no way to talk to your customers. Where's the manager? I want to file a complaint.
He's out to lunch, so can I take your order? It was the most dreadful day of my life. But the next day when I went to school, everyone called me Waiter Girl. Since Charlotte posted my picture on Instagram and during recess, while Lucy and I were minding our own business, Charlotte started being so annoying with her stupid minions.
We've noticed that you two bring lunches to school these days. Should we open up a charity fund dedicated to the richest in the school? Oh, let me rephrase. The poor, smelly girls of the school.
Shut up, Chatroulette. Lucy got up, angrily clenching her fist, and I calmed her down. Don't worry about her, Lucy. She's just a jealous girl who has no goals.
At least my goal is not to be a waiter. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, your goal is probably to be a brainless peanut all your life since you get big fat zeros on all of your tests. Charlotte eventually left us alone, but then after school, Dad picked us up in a rundown car, and Charlotte got the entire school to come and watch us get in it.
Oh my gosh, where did your dad buy this junk from?
At that point, I had had enough of Charlotte's farty face. Just leave me and my family alone. Our financial life is none of your business. Dad was shocked when we got home, and he told us that his contract at work was about to end. So he sold his Land Rover and got us a scrappy car. Life was getting even worse for us. I put on my waiter clothes and got out of the house to work an extra shift. While I was at the restaurant, I found my manager watching Luna Avatar. Wow, you like Luna Avatar?
Yeah. Is that a problem?
No problem. I was just surprised.
There was a guy who came looking for you. He left his number.
When I called the number, a part of me was hoping it was Greg calling to say he was sorry and he wanted to give us all our money back. But it wasn't. Hello, you were looking for me at the restaurant.
Yes, our investors liked your pitch that you suddenly decided to blurt out while you were serving our table. We have an offer for you if you could put all those ideas on paper.
Yes, I can. I left my extra shift. I went home and started putting ideas together for new devices. I didn't want to say anything to my family yet. I just wanted to get the offer first. The next day, I met with those business people again, and I was blown out of my mind when they told me I was going to get $100,000. I was on cloud nine. I immediately signed the contract, and they even asked me to stay in contact if I had any other ideas. I couldn't believe this was actually happening, and when I showed my family the check, we celebrated all night.
Rose, you just saved our lives.
Does this mean we can get our chef back? Because I'm getting really tired of eating baked beans every day.
Not just yet. Dad needs to first work his magic on the trading platform, and then maybe. I was so happy to see my family relaxed again. Lucy wanted us to go shopping the next day since all of our heels were starting to lose their texture. 2 pairs, and that's it, right? We need to use all this money wisely.
Yes, I know. But what if I see a third pair that I like?
Lucy! Just before we could head off to the mall, Dad screamed from the living room.
Rose, you have to see this.
When I went to check what he was talking about, the news was on, and Gregory was handcuffed and sentenced to prison for the next 20 years for being one of the biggest fraudsters in the city. And the parents that he said were his parents were just actors. I felt so relieved. And Dad eventually got a call from the credit card company with good news all his money would be returned. Soon after that, I completed school, got my degree in computer science, and became the next richest person in our city. And then, one day I even had my own business meeting at that classy restaurant.
Can I take your order?
Charlotte, you work here now?
Yes. So, can I take your order?
I didn't laugh or insult her because there's really nothing wrong with being a waitress. We all have to start somewhere if we want to make it. Hey, I'm Luna. Please like and subscribe. I'm about to share a story about the challenges life has thrown at me. My parents, especially my dad, weren't what some would call expressive and loving. They constantly fought and seemed to spend more time hating each other than anything else. Dad always had the TV blaring. The noise kept me up at night, so I often resorted to sleeping with headphones on. I knew he wasn't a bad person. He just had some annoying habits and seemed to enjoy annoying Mom. Mom was kind. She did her best to be the best mom. She'd surprise me with toys and candies. My favorite place was our treehouse, which Mom built for me. It was my escape. I loved spending time there with my bestie Lily.
Luna, everything will be okay. My mom got me 2 dolls, and I want to give you one. Let's grab some ice cream.
Lily was my best friend since kindergarten. She always knew how to cheer me up, sharing her toys with me. We were inseparable, so much so that some people at school mistook us for twins. Plus, Lily had an amazing voice. Sometimes she sang to me until I fell asleep in the treehouse. Lily's family seemed perfect. Her mom was a successful fashion designer, and her dad was a police officer. Sometimes I found myself wishing I was part of her family. But I'd immediately feel guilty knowing my mom loved me. When I was 16, my gymnastics coach said I should compete in another state. Excited, I asked my parents for money to go. Dad, busy with his motorbike, brushed me off.
Wish I could, honey, but I gotta paint the bike. It's my pride and joy.
I could tell Mom wanted to help by the way she looked at me, giving me the "I wish I could help you, dear" look. That day, I made up my mind to do something. I grabbed my dad's motorbike keys, thinking I could ride to the competition myself. But since I didn't really know how to drive, I ended up crashing into a fire hydrant. Dad was furious about his damaged bike. But before he could say anything, Mom intervened.
Don't you dare yell at her!
Mom then hugged me and handed me some money.
Here, take this money. I've been saving it for quite a while now. I love you, baby.
I hugged Mom tightly. I participated in the gymnastics competition and took second place. On the way back, my coach had some really bad news.
Your mom got into an accident while buying ingredients for your favorite apple pie. She's in the hospital now, in a coma.
I couldn't say a word. I just stayed quiet all the way home. When I got back, Dad hugged me and told me not to worry, saying Mom would be okay. Later at dinner, I asked Dad something tough. Dad, can I stay with Lily's family for a bit? It's not that I don't like being with you, but I feel happier there. They really care about me.
Sure, if that makes you happy. I'll talk to Lily's parents.
And Lily's family was really welcoming. Lily's mom used to say,
"We're glad to have you, dear. You're like my second daughter from now on."
That's how I ended up living with my best friend's family. They even gave me my own room. Lily's parents were wonderful. They looked after me and made me feel like I was their daughter, even though her dad wasn't always. I loved them with all my heart and thought of them as family. Lily and I even got closer. We'd spend all night talking or playing video games. I still saw my dad from time to time, and he seemed to be improving, becoming nicer.
I'll keep getting better until you say you want to come back and live with me.
Well, that might take some time, but yeah, keep your hopes up. One day, as I was walking around the house, I found a room full of beautiful clothes. Curious, I started trying them on. Lily's mom walked in on me.
You look beautiful. I've always hoped to share my wardrobe with a daughter.
Just then, Lily walked in, and her mom invited her to join.
Lily, darling, come try on some clothes too.
I don't want to.
Soon, I got really close to Lily's mom. We hung out a lot, and I even helped her out at photo shoots, sometimes modeling for her. One day, I was shocked to see my picture on the cover of a big magazine.
I wish Lily liked fashion like you do. Thank you for always being here for me.
I smiled and thanked her for making me feel like part of her family. But something was off with Lily. She started keeping to herself, staying in her room, and didn't want to hang out or do anything with me. When I tried talking to her, she just said,
I want to be left alone.
I was really worried about Lily's sudden change and couldn't figure out what I did wrong. I kept trying to fix things, even apologizing, but nothing worked. She sometimes even yelled at me. I had to give her space, even though it hurt a lot. One evening at dinner, Lily's mom shared some exciting news.
Luna, your teacher called. Your college aptitude test scores were amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Turning to Lily, her mom asked,
And how did yours go, honey?
Oh, I didn't bother with it. I'm going to be a singer, so I don't need it. Maybe one of your famous friends could help produce my album.
I won't do that. I want more for you. You're going to college, and later you can decide what you want.
What? You can't make those decisions for me. I'm going to be a singer, and that's that.
As your mom, yes, I can guide you.
You can't tell me anything.
Lily, stop. Your mom's just trying to help.
You shut up. My life was better before you showed up. Go back to your miserable family and leave us alone. I hate you both.
Angry, Lily knocked all the family pictures off the shelf. After that, her behavior got worse. She began skipping school and got mad whenever someone tried to talk about what she was doing. Lily's behavior toward me got worse, turning her into what felt like a real-life villain. She constantly tried to make trouble for me, and even though her mom always ended up forgiving me, it just made Lily angrier. For example, Lily switched her unfinished homework with mine, confusing my teacher. Luckily, the teacher sorted it out. Lily made a fake social media account with my name, posting embarrassing stuff. It took a while, but I showed it wasn't me and shut it down. Lily hid a library book I borrowed, causing me to get late fees. Her mom found it later and figured out Lily's trick. Lily messed with my bike's brakes. I felt something was wrong before I rode it and stopped myself from getting hurt. This escalated one afternoon when Lily's mom was away on a business trip and her dad was away at work. Lily decided to do something drastic. She turned the backyard into a makeshift movie theater. I'm not sure showing a movie here is a good idea.
Well, it's better than having you around all the time.
The backyard quickly filled with people, the projector buzzing to life. I stayed inside, trying to avoid the chaos, and was flipping through a magazine when suddenly someone stumbled into my room.
Oops, my bad. I was looking for the kitchen. Hey, is that a magazine about vintage cars? My dad collects them, and I've read a bunch about them. Is that the issue with the 60s muscle cars?
Yes, it is. His name was Brian. We discovered we shared a lot of interests and spent the evening chatting in the kitchen. Just as we were really connecting, the screen outside fell over with a crash. Suddenly, Lily and her mom came in.
Look, Mom, I knew it. Luna set up this whole movie thing just to hang out with her boyfriend.
Boyfriend? That's not true. Why would I organize this party? Lily, You're my only friend here.
Then explain him being in your room. This must be your party.
Enough, Lily. I don't think Luna would do this. But young man, it's time for you to go home. Please.
Lily looked so angry and stormed off. She stopped talking to me and just ignored my existence. I kept talking to Brian. Having him in my life was great. He was nice-looking and well-mannered. His family had money, and he shared his dream of becoming a doctor with me. A few days later, Lily's mom called me into the living room, where I found my dad sitting.
I really care about you and loved having you here, but things with Lily are getting tough. She's feeling left out. Plus, your dad's been talking to us. He's made some changes, wants you back, and misses you a lot.
The past few months have been really tough without you. I love you and want you to come home.
I didn't say much. When I feel a lot, I find it hard to speak. But I managed to say, "I'll pack my things." I moved back with Dad. And honestly, things weren't bad. He had really improved, and hanging out with him wasn't bad at all. But I ended up blocking Brian. I didn't have a strong reason to cut him off. I felt like I didn't deserve him and just needed a fresh start. A few months after finishing high school, I couldn't go to college right away. Dad didn't have the money because we had big hospital bills for Mom, so I started working as a pizza delivery person. It was tough, but I never thought about quitting. I worked really hard and finally got into college. I planned to study economics and maybe even start my own business someday. While studying, I took any job I could get. Eventually, I managed to rent a tiny apartment with a view of the city dump. It wasn't much, but it was mine. I could finally study and rest there. Dad even helped me buy a used car for my delivery job. Things were starting to get better. I kept working hard, aiming for success. I often thought about Lily and her parents, and my mom too. I missed them a lot. With exams coming up, I studied all night and worked all day. I felt unstoppable, like nothing could slow me down. But one day, while out on a delivery, I suddenly felt very dizzy, and the next thing I knew, I crashed into a tree. I was rushed to the hospital. Everything hurt, but what pained me the most was my thoughts. Why couldn't things just go right for once? I hugged my pillow and burst into tears. Then a young doctor came in, and I was shocked. "Brian, is that really you?" He recognized me too.
I always thought I'd run into the girl who broke my heart again.
Feeling embarrassed, I just looked down and stayed quiet as usual. Brian had finished medical school and was now an intern at the hospital. I apologized, and we chatted for a while and swapped phone numbers. Over time, we got closer and started dating. Brian had the kindest heart, and he even helped me with my college fees. One day, I went to the hospital to bring Brian his lunch and decided to visit Mom afterward. I entered her room, and she looked so peaceful, just like an angel. I gently kissed her forehead. "Mom, I have to tell you something. I tried to replace you. I was so angry when I felt you gave up on me, so I gave up on you. I was angry at Dad, too. Even though the poor man was struggling without you, I used to be mad at Lily. But as I got older, I understood her, and we made up. I'm friends with her mom now, too. I love them, but no love can match yours." Guess what I found out this morning? I'm pregnant. I'm going to surprise Brian tonight on our date. I think he's going to propose, and I'll say yes. Mom, I'm happy, but my happiness isn't complete without you. Tears overwhelmed me, and I laid my head on her hands. When suddenly, I felt her hands move. Overjoyed, I ran to the doctor like a little kid shouting, "My mommy is awake. My mommy is aware."
Hi, I'm Ella, and this is my story. Please like and subscribe. My twin sister Aria and I look identical in every way, right down to the dimple on our left cheeks. And I hate it. Anyone who thinks it's cool to be identical twins is stupid. Mom and Dad thought it was super cute to dress us up in matching outfits all the time. But growing up, it started getting so annoying. No one could tell us apart, not even her parents, so they just called us the twins or the girls. It's like I had no identity of my own. I was just part of a pair. Yeah, we got a lot of buy one, get one free jokes. Also, it was everyone's favorite game to try and spot any differences.
I think this one's shorter.
Her nose is bigger, right?
Her ears stick out more. Also, if I pinch your cheek, will your twin feel it?
If I punch your face, will your mother feel it? You're basically a part of her. We were in the same class in school, and we did all the same extracurricular activities. And there was always so much pressure not to be the worst twin, because everyone made that instant comparison.
Ella got an A on her maths test. Why do you have a C, Aria?
Aria beat you in that race. By your mind, Ella, aren't your legs just as long?
Why was it so hard to understand that we didn't have matching abilities to go with our matching faces? But by 4th grade, our personalities started changing. I was academically stronger, but Aria was more athletic. We'd both been attending dance classes since we were kids, but I eventually dropped out because she was clearly better. I started slipping into the quiet nerd mold while she was more outgoing and loud, so she always got more attention. Like on our 10th birthday, Aria got her way, and the whole party was Hannah Montana themed. All my Harry Potter requests were ignored. Mom had baked our birthday cake and it read, "Happy birthday to our beautiful beauty, Aria and Elle?" Mom, what happened to my name?
Aria told me she wanted this text on the cake, honey, and there just wasn't enough space left.
Our classmates were gathered around Aria as they danced away to her playlist. I spotted a new kid sitting in a corner and playing some game. Hey, you think this party sucks as much as I do?
Yeah, kinda. Sorry, wanna play?
I was having a really good time till Aria and her friend started a crazy water fight and attacked us too. And they ruined the boy's gaming console. He left the party crying and never talked to me again. Yeah, Aria always found a way to ruin things for me. Then one day in 7th grade, we found Mom waiting for us at home with an envelope each.
Oh my god, no way! You signed me up for the tween beauty pageant? Oh, thanks, Mom.
A flyer for the middle school mathletes?
Well, what do you think? One for my beauty and one for my brainiac? It's perfect!
It's fine, I guess. From then on, my sister got more and more popular, and I became more invisible. By the time we were in high school, Aria's pageant trophies were on full display all over the house, while my mathlete trophies collected dust in my room. My parents clearly loved to show her off more. Well, at least my mathlete's teammate Eugene thought I was really cool.
The way you gave that answer right before the buzzer went off. Ugh, what an adrenaline rush. You're so smart!
You're too nice, Eugene.
And you're like a 45-degree angle, you know? 'Cause 45 degrees is an acute angle. You're a cutie.
Aha, yeah, good one.
So I was thinking, maybe you'd like to have my phone number?
I was only half listening because just then, the football team captain Justin walked into the cafeteria. Man, he was some descendant of Hercules, just sheer perfection. I'd never have the guts to say hi to him, and he'd never notice me.
Ella?
Yes, sure. I'll take your phone number.
So you'll call me then?
If the need ever arises, then definitely, yes. Thanks, buddy. I gotta go to class now. Then one day, things took a bit of a turn when Aria came down with the flu.
Ugh, my head hurts and I have a fever. I can't perform at the mall pageant today.
Oh no, my poor baby. Go lie down and Ella will bring you some tea.
She can make her own tea, and I'm busy.
She's unwell and you're not doing anything important. Now go.
I was so sick of being second to my sister. But when I got back with the tea, I found her snoring. And then I got a crazy idea. Next to her bed was her pageant bag, all packed and ready to go. I grabbed it and snuck out the front door. I was just as beautiful as Aria, and I was gonna prove it. When I got to the mall, everyone was smiling and waving at me. I felt like a movie star. Her dress fit perfectly, and the show went super smoothly.
And the winner is Aria!
Just as I was accepting the trophy, I heard the most annoying voice in the world.
She isn't Aria. I am. Mom couldn't find you at home. And when I saw my bag gone, I knew exactly where you were. How dare you?
So what? You're just mad that I could be as good as you any day?
Shut up, loser!
You mean winner? Aria leapt onto the stage and attacked me. The fight not only lost us the trophy, but it also got us banned from all pageants in the area for life. Our parents were furious with me. I was grounded for 2 weeks, and Aria basically pretended I didn't exist after that. She even blocked me on all social media. But at school, it seemed like everyone had heard about the pageant fight, and people were noticing me more. And I almost turned to jelly when Justin approached me.
Hey, not Aria, right?
Right. I'm what's my name? I forgot. Ella.
I'm Justin, the football captain. I love that gutsy stunt you pulled at the mall yesterday. We're having cheer tryouts tomorrow. Why don't you come too?
Cheer tryouts? Sure, I'll be there.
Perfect. But, change your look or something. I want to be able to tell you apart from Aria, okay?
Sure, Justin. I've wanted to change my look anyway. I was so excited for a fresh start that at home, I looked up some videos online on how to cut my hair. I decided bangs would be easiest, so I went to the bathroom, plugged in my dad's electric razor, and cut myself some bangs. And they turned out super cute. That was until they moved a bit and I saw that I'd shaved off my eyebrows too. I was horrified. There was no way I could go to tryouts looking like that. I couldn't even leave the bathroom looking like this. I started rummaging through the cabinets to find something that could help fix my eyebrows. I found a bottle of spray-on hair that my dad sometimes used to cover his bald spot. I aimed it at my forehead and sprayed, but it made me look like a caveman with a bushy unibrow. I scrubbed it off just as there was a knock at the door.
Ella, are you in there? Better not be stealing my makeup again.
Just washing my face, Mom. I'll be right out. Oh, I could use my mom's makeup to hide the damage. I found an eyebrow pencil and quickly scrawled them on as best as I could. Then I brushed my bangs over my forehead and snuck quietly out of the bathroom.
There you are. Wait, did you just cut your hair?
Some people are just desperate for attention. So pathetic.
Just trying something different. Mom, I have to go run to the store and get some things for a school project, so bye. At the store, I was lucky enough to find the perfect solution: tattoo sticker eyebrows. I rushed home with them and went to my room to try them on. Just put them on, spray a little water, and voila. I set the timer on my phone and laid back with the washcloth over my forehead, awaiting my beautiful new eyebrows. But when I looked at the results, I almost fainted. They looked super crooked. I scrubbed and scrubbed, but they just wouldn't come off. I lay in my bed, sobbing uncontrollably.
Why are you making sounds like a dying whale? OMG! Ha ha ha! What happened to your face?
I just wanted to change my look for the cheer tryouts, but it's all gone so horribly wrong. What am I gonna do?
Well, maybe if you hadn't pretended to be me and ruined my pageant career.
Wait, that's it? You can pretend to be me. Oh, please, Aria, I need this. Justin himself asked me. You know I've always had the biggest crush on him.
Yeah, I've read your Dear Diary sob stories.
What?
Not important right now. And okay, since you're begging and you look so ugly, it's almost sad. I'll do it, but only if you do my homework for a whole year.
Are you kidding? Ugh. Fine, I'll do it. Just get me the cheerleading spot, okay?
You got yourself a deal, Ugo.
Mom let me stay at home for a few days when she saw what I'd done, and Aria left for school the next morning. But I didn't really trust her not to mess things up for me at the tryouts. I needed a spy, so I called Eugene. Hey, I know this is a lot to ask, but I'm really unwell. And I asked my twin, Aria, to do the cheer tryouts for me. Could you just go and see how she does? I don't know who else I can trust.
Of course I'll do it! Want me to drop by later with some soup too? We could watch some Luna's videos, or I could show you my cat's pictures.
That sounds amazing! But what I have is really contagious. So you'll report to me soon, right?
You betcha!
You're the best, Eugene! Eugene's report tallied with what Aria told me. She'd performed a flawless audition, and I was in. I couldn't wait to go back and spend time with Justin. Thankfully, the tattoos wore off in a few days, and my eyebrows were coming back, so I could fill in the rest with pencil. I was ready to return to school. But that evening, Eugene told me that he'd seen Aria and Justin kissing, and when she got home that day, she was getting out of Justin's car. I ran down to the living room and opened the window to eavesdrop.
It's so hard to say goodbye to you, babe.
It's only till tomorrow. Coochie poochie poo!
And that'll feel like an eternity. My Aria! Baby boo!
Oh, and what the heck? The minute Aria walked in, I jumped in her way like an angry lioness. What in God's name did I just see?
Oh, you mean me and Justin, silly? Didn't you want to ask him out? I just did it for you as you...
No, don't lie to me, witch. I heard him say, Aria, boo, boo, boo. He knows you're Aria and not me, Ella. And then her face turned totally evil.
Yeah, okay. Whatevs. I took a picture of you in your sleep and showed him your freaky eyebrows and told him you'd sent me in your place. We had a really good laugh and we just bonded. You took away my pageant life, I took away your guy. Trust me, he's way out of your league anyway.
I let out a snarl and attacked her. My parents came running when we crashed into a table and pulled us apart, and I swore I'd never speak to her for the rest of my life. But watching her and Justin together in school and thinking of how they must have made fun of me made my heart burn. And then I found something in the mail one day that gave me the perfect opportunity for revenge. I knew I was successful when Aria screamed at me in the school hallway one day.
Ella, what did you do?
What are you talking about? Something boring, probably.
Why do I have a rejection letter from the dance academy of my dreams which says that my audition was way below their standards? I never went to any audition.
Oh yeah, that. See, I received the invitation for the audition, and I decided to go as you. Now, I haven't danced in a really long time, so I was kinda rusty, but I thought I did an impressive chicken dance.
I will kill you!
Well, that was effectively the end of our relationship. Somehow, it didn't feel as good as I thought it would. No one at home was talking to me now, and even Eugene seemed distant. Am I imagining it, or are you avoiding me?
No, Ella, you're not. I just don't like what you did to your sister.
What? She started it!
No, you started it when you went to the pageant as her.
You don't really know everything about us, Eugene. It gets really tiring being overlooked and invisible.
Actually, I do know something about that. I literally joined the mathletes to get close to you. I dropped every possible hint that I like you. And you're not so dumb that you didn't pick up on it. But you just used me when you needed me. And now you need me again. 'Cause I'm guessing other people in your life aren't talking to you. Well, I have a little more self-respect than that. Goodbye, Ella.
The last few months of high school were really lonely. Aria got into an amazing dance school across the country, but she still didn't seem willing to forgive me. And even though we hadn't gotten along in a really long time, I felt sad that she'd be out of my life soon. But during the summer break, Aria suddenly fell really sick. After a number of tests, the doctor told us that both her kidneys were weak and she needed a healthy one soon. And of course, I was a perfect match.
No freaking way! I'm not taking your kidney!
Are you crazy? Listen, guys, can you give us a minute? When my parents and the doctor left, I turned to her. Look, you need this, okay? I know I did some awful things, and I'm really sorry. And for better or for worse, you're my other half, and I can't lose you. So just shut up and stop smirking, and you're taking my kidney.
Say you're my better half, Aria!
Don't push it!
Okay. I know I haven't been very nice to you either, and I'm sorry too. I didn't even like Justin that much, so thank God he cheated on me and we broke up.
Serves you right. Which reminds me, I gotta call Eugene before the surgery and apologize to him too.
What kind of name is Eugene? That's Latin for ugly girl?
While Latin is a dead language, Aria, much like your love life, some things never change, do they?
Hello, I am Charlize from Belgium, and this is my story. My parents were extremely wealthy, strict, and had everything, but all they ever wanted was a daughter. I was born 5 years after my brother Jason, and my parents immediately adored me. Jason looked at me and frowned.
What's the big deal? She looks like a potato.
A very cute potato. Look at those cute girls. As we grew up, Jason really hated that I was always the center of attention. When I started crawling, he would push me under the bed and sofa. He even dangled me out of the window and gave me milk mixed with salt. On my 7th birthday, my parents gave me a beautiful doll. I was overjoyed. But Jason couldn't stand my happiness. When I came home from school, my doll was broken and lying in the trash. I was about to cry, but when I saw Jason standing by the door, I felt a surge of anger.
Jason, I'll lend you!
Why? I made it look so pretty, just like you. That was it. Haha.
I lunged at Jason and hit him. Mom and Dad came over and pulled us apart. As a punishment, Jason had to give me all of his toys. So, I won. Later, when I turned 12, Jason got her ears pierced and Dad bought her a pair of huge diamond earrings to go with them. I wanted to get my ears pierced too, but my parents refused. However, I was determined to go through with it. I used my savings to get my ears pierced at the mall, even though I was punished to stay home for a week and had to write an essay on disobedience because of it.
You're so careless and stubborn, Charlize.
A few days after my 15th birthday, our chef approached my parents. She wanted her daughter, Mia, to work as a maid for our family.
She's lived most of her life in the village. I want her to go to a better school, but I don't have enough money, so I thought she could work here and help me. Please give her a trial. She's really smart.
Mia was my age and looked very sweet. It would be great to have someone my age around the house.
I can't believe I'm here! Finally, my life will get better!
She told me that her life in the village was very tough and that her father was a terrible person. However, as we got closer, she was assigned the task of organizing my wardrobe and tidying up my things. She wasn't very good at it, but at school the teachers were very impressed by her intelligence. She was a genius, and I hated studying. So, I made a deal with her.
Hey, listen, I hate school. What if you do my homework, and I won't tell my parents how much you suck at cleaning?
You got yourself a deal, bestie.
This girl was amazing and treated me better than my brother ever did. But I guess Jason was jealous because Mia and I were very close. One day, he tried to warn me about Mia.
Hey, you should set some boundaries with that maid. She's always snooping around in your room.
Duh. Of course she is. She has to clean it, so she has to be there. Mia's totally awesome.
Whatever.
Once at school, we were having a spring dance, and I was really hoping that Zach, the hottest guy in class, would join me. I had a crush on him since kindergarten, and when he did, I felt like I was on cloud 9. That day, Zach offered to walk me home.
So here we are. Your place? Goodbye.
Hey, Zach, wait!
As he turned around, I quickly kissed him on the cheek. He smiled and walked away. I felt over the moon, but as soon as I caught Mia grinning at the front door, my smile instantly faded.
You kissed a boy? Wow. I was wondering, can you set me up with his friend? I always wanted to have a boyfriend.
Shh! We are going out together! Just don't tell my parents or Jason. You know how strict they are, and I can't just ask him if his friend needs a girlfriend. It doesn't work that way.
Oh yeah.
Then Mia walked away, clearly annoyed. What was that about? Shortly after, I started noticing my things were going missing. First, it was my favorite lipstick, then my eyeshadow, blush, and eventually, even a backpack. I asked Mia if she had seen them anywhere, but she said she hadn't.
Maybe you left it at a friend's house. Come on, you can be pretty careless. Like the time you kissed a boy at your doorstep in broad daylight.
Ever since she saw me with Zach, Mia had been acting very strange. Sure, I could be a bit careless, but I had never lost anything in my life before. On the day of the spring dance, I was getting ready, and that's when I realized my favorite dress was missing.
Mia, have you seen my prom dress anywhere?
The pink one?
Yes, have you seen it? Wait, why are you crying?
I'm so sorry, Charlize. I borrowed it last week, and I fell, and it got torn on one side. I tried to fix it, but I couldn't. Please, just don't tell anyone or Mom will send me back to the village. I know you won't tell. Look, I guard your secrets too. Like you kissing your boyfriend and how you make me do your homework, remember?
Are you like threatening me?
Perhaps.
I was utterly shocked by her actions. After that day, Mia only became bolder. She kept taking my things without telling me. She also stopped cleaning my room. She even told Mom that I was purposely messing up the room to make her work more. And, unsurprisingly, Mom believed her.
Charlize, you're almost 16. Get your act together. Clean your room. Now.
I was so angry with Mia. I had done nothing but be kind, and she took advantage of me. I started cleaning my own room and locking the door every day before school. If it weren't for Zach, I would have gone crazy. He was like a ray of sunshine in my otherwise dull life. One time we went out and Zach gave me the most precious gift ever, a pair of pearl earrings.
Oh my God, these are so pretty.
Not prettier than you.
Then he kissed me. I was so in love with him. The next day, when I woke up, I felt sick. Mom and Dad took me to the doctor, and I found out I had caught a virus and needed complete bed rest. But when I finally felt better, I tried calling Zach. His number was unreachable, and he had blocked me everywhere. He even switched schools. But he left me a message on Insta. Good luck with your new life. I'm about to move out of town because of my dad's job. Goodbye. What was that about? I was heartbroken for weeks. One day when I walked into my room, I saw Mia standing in front of the mirror, trying on my earrings.
Hey, get those off! Zach gave those to me! For God's sake, stop touching my stuff!
Zach! The same guy who royally dumped you? Still hoping he'll come back to you. You are very naive. Here you go. Your ugly earrings.
I am so gonna tell Mom.
Good luck convincing her. Your own family will never believe you. The careless liar of the family.
Mia was right. My parents adored her. A few weeks later, I saw Jason showing off his new hairstyle, so I wanted to do the same. But when I asked my parents if I could get a new hairstyle, they refused, saying I was too young. Well, they were wrong. I watched some videos of cool hairstyles, but I didn't have enough money to pay for it. So I snuck into Mom's room and took her credit card from her purse. A few days later, my package arrived. I made sure everyone was busy before I set everything up. After hours, I removed the towel from the mirror to see my new and improved hair. What the heck? My hair was frizzy and stuck to my head like a fur hat. Jason heard me screaming and ran into my room.
Oh my God, what happened?
Oh, brother, it went all wrong.
Calm down, take a deep breath. How did this even happen?
Yes, how did it?
But one look at Mia's evil grin, and I had my answer.
You witch! You did this! Why are you this way? What did I do to you? I was always nice and treated you well.
It just annoys me to the core that a dumb witch like you is living this perfect life, while someone like me is just a maid.
You have a serious problem. You're so sick. I knew it was you who did this to me.
Me?
That's enough, Charlize. It's your own fault. I have the credit card receipts. I can't believe you've been stealing from us.
Oops, told you so.
You just wait, you witch. I'll expose you for who you really are.
Best of luck.
A few days later, we were hosting a big party at home. I felt really down because I couldn't attend due to my hair. But then I found a box near my bed. Inside was a beautiful wig. Jason had bought it for me. Suddenly, tears filled my eyes. Jason had always loved me, no matter how much we fought. I quickly got ready, and as I was sipping some soda at the party, I spotted a familiar face. It was Zach.
So you finally showed your face!
I didn't want to come. My dad made me.
Ugh, how could you leave me like that? Zach, did I never mean anything to you?
I left you. Last time I checked, you dumped me because one of the jocks had gotten you pregnant. You told me to stay away because you wanted to be with him. Whoever the jerk was, where is he, even?
Hearing his words, I felt the ground shake. Pregnant? Me? Seeing me shell-shocked, Zach realized I really had no idea what he was talking about. He then showed me Insta messages from me telling him to back off. Checking the dates, I realized they were sent when I was sick, and then it all clicked.
By any chance, did you talk to my maid Mia?
Actually, yeah. I called your number and she picked up and said you asked me not to call you ever again.
Oh my gosh, what a psycho. Which, as soon as I saw her talking to another guy, I rushed over and hit her.
You crazy, evil psycho! You went too far this time.
Our screaming drew everyone's attention at the party.
Zach, you should be thanking me. I was saving you from this freak. Yeah, I told a small lie, but it was so worth it. I felt my cheeks turn red and I just wanted to hide.
I had never been this humiliated, but before I could run, Jason came forward and pushed Mia away from me.
How dare you treat my sister this way?
Wait till you hear what she actually did.
Zach told Mom, Dad, and Jason the whole story about Mia's lies, and they were stunned.
Mia, how could you do this? We thought you were a sensible young girl.
Sensible girl? I don't want to be a sensible poor girl. I'm too smart. No, I'm a genius. That's how I ruined your daughter's life. Yeah, I hacked your phone, Charlize, you dumb, useless girl, and sent Zach everything. Someone like him can't be with someone like you. I want your life. Why should I have to work for all the things I want? I won't be a loser like my mom.
Don't talk to my mother that way. And calling your own mom a loser. Mia, you are pathetic.
As if you could.
Before she could even finish, someone grabbed Mia's arm. It was her mom.
Mia, you are a disgrace. This family took you in, treated you as their own, and this is how you repay them? I am sorry, Miss Charlize. My daughter is out of control. I knew she had some problems, but I never expected her to go this far.
Oh, Charlize, we're sorry, darling. We should have believed you. Mia, you're no longer welcome here. Get out, now.
Hearing that, Mia completely lost it.
You stupid rich people! Treating poor people like trash! I hate you! You should all die! If I can't live this lifestyle, no one can!
Mia grabbed a knife and charged at me, but thank God Zach grabbed my hand and pulled me out of the way. The police arrived shortly after and took Mia away.
I am so sorry for ever doubting you. I can't believe I fell for those stupid lies. Isabella, I love you so much.
Shh, it's all in the past, Zach. I love you too. I always have.
Hi, I'm Melody from New York. Please like and subscribe. I lived with my amazing single mom, who had a tough time raising me on her own. As I grew older, I was determined to work hard and give her a good life one day. I got into a great high school on full scholarship and helped her out by waitressing on weekends. One evening, I was dashing like crazy at the subway station. I was so late for my shift. Suddenly, I bumped straight into someone, but I just shouted an apology and ran off to my train. Just as I was about to get on, someone gently took my hand. I turned around to see the most gorgeous boy ever.
Hey, you dropped this!
He placed something in my hand and I gasped. It was my bracelet. Thank you so much. I would have been devastated if I had lost this. I'm so glad I found you. No, you found me. I mean the bracelet. His smile went all the way up to his warm brown eyes.
You're welcome. Do you think we could maybe?
Just then, the door started closing and I shouted, "Sorry, gotta go!" As the train pulled away, I felt like such an idiot. I didn't even ask for his name. For the next couple of months, I kept hoping I'd bump into him on the way to work, but no such luck. Summer break was over, and I was really looking forward to seeing my best friend, Stella, who'd been away on vacation. We hugged excitedly, and she put her arm through mine as we walked to class.
There's so much I have to tell you. But first, did you ever find the train guy again?
No, it sounds stupid, Stella, but we had an instant connection. He almost asked me out, and now he just disappeared.
Melody, we'll hunt the whole city down till we find him. Now come on, let me introduce you to my new boyfriend, Levi.
She walked up to a tall guy, and when he turned around, my heart almost stopped. It was the freaking train guy. He didn't seem to recognize me as Stella introduced us, telling me how their dads were friends and they'd met on vacation. His family had recently moved to our town, so he'd joined our school. Now, of all the guys in the world, Stella had to meet him. The first class we had that day was English literature, and to my dismay, the teacher chose me and Levi to read out something from Shakespeare. I picked out a scene from Romeo and Juliet, but Levi muttered loudly,
Geez, kill me now.
"What, you don't like it?"
No, it's a story about two people who were so dumb I was happy when they died. It's so lame.
Oh, is that your expert opinion as a world-famous writer?
No, it's my expert opinion as someone with good taste. It's not romantic, it's stupid.
Dying for love is stupid?
The dumbest!
You have the emotional depth of a teaspoon.
At least I have a brain. But fine, you want me to be stupid, Romeo, I'll do it.
No, I don't want to now! I pulled the book away from him as he held on to it tight, and suddenly we both fell down, ripping it in half. Everyone was staring at us, and the teacher told us to go back to our seats. Ugh, this guy was so annoying. It wasn't a great start, but because of Stella, we both made an effort to be nicer. And I wanted to hate him, but I really couldn't. He was smart, funny, sweet. He was kind of perfect for Stella? Of course. Some months later, we had a big calculus assignment to work on. But when I went to the library, only Levi was there. He told me Stella wasn't feeling well, and I sat down awkwardly. As we got busy working, I suddenly noticed Levi looking at my notebook.
You're doing it the wrong way.
My answer's the same as yours.
But why use such a long method when there's a shortcut?
Because shortcuts lead to mistakes. He pulled his chair closer and started scribbling away. I could hardly focus. Gosh, he smelled so good.
There, done.
Okay, you're a genius. I'm calling it a day. I gathered my stuff and started to leave, but he followed me.
Have I offended you? Why does it always seem like you're mad at me?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Just tell me, Melody. Why are you angry at me?
Suddenly, the words just came spilling out. Because you didn't remember me.
Wait, what?
Nothing. It's nothing. I'll see you around. And with that, I ran off. Why did I have to say such a dumb thing? A few weeks later, we had the spring dance at school, and I accepted when a boy from class, Eric, asked me to go with him. I was actually having a pretty good time. And when I stopped to rest, Stella and Levi joined me.
That Eric seems like great boyfriend material, Melody.
Yeah, I guess he's nice.
But you're still hoping to find the train guy, right?
Oh my god, Stella, please, shut up.
Train guy?
Oh yeah, babe. This guy found Melody's bracelet at the train station, and they had this, electric romantic moment. But Melody laughed and never saw him again. She even tried looking for him, but nothing.
I just wanted to magically disappear from the most humiliating moment of my life. Eric came just then and whisked me off to the dance floor. The next day, I was just really distracted at work. I broke 2 glasses, knocked over a jug of water, and then I bumped into a waiter, sending food flying everywhere. I was pretty sure I'd be fired, but that night got even worse when I suddenly noticed my bracelet was gone. I broke down into tears, and the staff helped me look all around the kitchen. The manager even let me stay back and search the restaurant once the customers were gone, but I didn't find it anywhere. Feeling crushed, I finally left and walked straight into someone outside.
Hey, what's wrong?
My bracelet, it's gone! It's the last birthday gift my dad gave me! Levi pulled me into a hug and I buried my face in his shoulder. A minute later, he spoke.
A Melody? You mean this bracelet?
I stepped back to see him taking off the bracelet stuck to my coat. Gosh, I feel so stupid. Thank you, once again. And suddenly last evening came rushing back to me. Listen, I did tell Stella I met some guy, and I thought maybe we had something, but I was wrong. I've only ever thought of you as a friend since we met in school, and I don't like you that way, okay?
Well, that's disappointing.
Wait, what?
I would have looked for you myself, but I left town the next day. And when I saw you in school, I did remember you. Melody, I didn't say anything because what was the point? I'm with Stella, and I've tried so hard not to like you that way either, but it's not working.
He pulled me closer, and my heart was pounding. He leaned in to kiss me, but I snapped back to my senses. No, I can't do this to Stella! Please don't follow me! And with that, I ran. How could I even come this close? I really wasn't looking forward to seeing Levi in school, but I found his seat empty. Stella told me his dad was unwell, and Levi had to go back to his hometown to take care of business. I thought he'd be back soon. But days turned into weeks and then months. The school year ended, and one day during summer break, Stella called me to tell me she and Levi had broken up.
Why? The long-distance relationship made us realize we weren't that good together. I'm sure we can still be good friends, but that's all we'll be now.
I hardly knew what to say. I wanted to call him and ask him how he was doing, but I decided against it. A few weeks later at the restaurant, I walked over to a table to take someone's order, and I nearly fell back when I saw Levi sitting there.
Levi, you're back. It's been so long.
Well, I'm here now. I guess you heard about me and Stella.
Yeah, sorry it didn't work out.
It was the right thing for both of us. Melody, do you think that maybe...
Just then, Eric walked in and kissed me on the cheek.
Babe, is your shift almost over? Oh, hey man, you're back.
Levi tried to hide his shock as he realized I was dating Eric now. He'd asked me out a week after the dance. Suddenly, he got up to leave.
I just remembered something important. I'll see you guys in school.
Gosh, we really had the worst timing. Some weeks later, on my 16th birthday, Eric turned up in a limo to take me to dinner. But when we got to this fancy restaurant, I was shocked to see my entire class there. It looked like he booked the whole place. But to top that, Eric jumped onto a chair, suddenly holding a mic.
Happy birthday to the most amazing girl. To show you how much you mean to me, I'm gonna embarrass myself now with this song I wrote for you.
He started singing and I couldn't stop laughing. He was ridiculous. Just then, the mic suddenly died, and everyone heard Levi saying,
"What a loser."
There was a pin-drop silence as everyone turned to him, and Eric was furious.
Dude, is there a problem?
Yeah, just one thing. I don't understand what Melody sees in you.
God, he was so rude. Before I could tell him off, Eric leapt forward and grabbed him by his collar. Levi pushed him back, and he ended up falling in the cake. He attacked Levi again, and they both went crashing into another table. Oh my God, stop it! Levi, what's wrong with you? I pulled him outside.
Your boyfriend attacked me first.
You deserved it. What's your problem with Eric?
He's so annoying and lame, but I guess you like that he's your Romeo.
I like him because he's sweet and caring.
And really rich.
I suddenly slapped him hard. Did you just call me a gold digger? Gosh, you're being such a jerk!
Wait, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, and I don't hate Eric. I just hate that I missed my chance with you again. I wished every day I followed you on that train and things could be different.
Oh, so what was I in the middle of all this? A mistake?
We turned around in horror to see Stella behind us.
So you did find your train guy, Melody, and all this time we were together, you two were in love. Were you secretly making out?
No, Stella, of course not.
Why should I believe you? You lied to my face for so long.
I tried to stop her from leaving, but she pushed me to the ground.
I'm done with both of you.
She stormed off furiously, and I just went back inside. This was a nightmare. The next few weeks were awful. Stella refused to talk to me. I refused to talk to Levi, and everything was a mess. Then Stella didn't come to school for a couple of days, and I began to feel worried. I finally asked the teacher, and she told me Stella and her sister had been in an accident. Oh my God! I went straight to the hospital and found Stella in the waiting area. I rushed forward and hugged her tight, and she hugged me back.
I'm okay, but my sister's in surgery. I'm just so glad you're here, Melody.
I held her hand through it, and we were so relieved when the doctors told us she was going to be okay. We took a walk outside, and Stella turned to me.
Melody, how could you be so stupid? Why didn't you tell me Levi was the guy?
You would have hated me even if I had, Stella. And it doesn't matter now. I'm with Eric.
Just listen to yourself, dummy. You're with Eric, but you're not in love with Eric.
I just ignored her. I wasn't hurting Eric now. I'd messed up things enough. A few weeks later, Eric was having a Christmas party at his place. When I came down all dressed up, Mom said a package had arrived for me. I opened it and gasped. There was a beautiful pair of earrings inside that perfectly matched my bracelet. A note fell out.
This was supposed to be your birthday present. I'm really sorry for everything, Melody. I'm leaving tonight, and I'll be transferring back to my old school. I hope you and Stella patch things up.
Levi. What? I couldn't believe he was leaving for good. I went to the party with a heavy heart, and there I had another surprise waiting. Eric immediately pulled me into a room and popped out a freaking diamond ring. What are you doing?
Melody, let's just get engaged. My family would be so pleased if we announced it tonight. We won't get married right away, of course, but...
Eric, please stop! I can't! He looked at me in shock.
Because of Levi, isn't it?
Well, yes and no. I don't want to be engaged. I don't want my life planned out for me. You're a great guy, but I'm not ready for this. I'm sorry. He quietly kissed me on the cheek and just left, and I immediately called an Uber to the train station. I looked around frantically for Levi, and just then, I saw him climbing onto the train. As I hopped on after him and took his hand, he turned around in shock.
Melody, what are you doing here?
Taking a train ride with you. Also, I broke up with Eric. We're both single now. So what do you want to do about it? He smiled like the first time I saw him.
Do you think we could maybe get dinner sometime?
Finally, yes! And he pulled me in for a kiss.
I wanna get too close, gonna get it right now. I wanna push sure the limit's with you right now.
Hi, I'm Layla, and I figured out 2 things very early in life. 1, my older sister Fiona is dumb, and 2, she really hates me. Fiona is a year older than me, but it didn't take me too long to catch up with her. I was talking before she did, and I learned how to read while she was still struggling with the alphabet. My parents loved showing me off, and I think it really bothered Fiona.
Sweetie, why don't you recite the poems you learned for our guests?
Layla, tell your aunt the cool thing that you read in your encyclopedia yesterday.
Just then, Fiona came running, wearing her bathing suit over her clothes.
Look at me! I look like a mermaid in my baby soup!
Your what?
My baby soup, Mom. Baby soup? This, You don't understand anything I say. Oh, just help me take it off. It's stuck in my limbo.
I think she's saying her bathing suit is stuck in her elbow, Mom.
Oh, I see, Layla. You're so bright, silly Fiona.
Did I mention that? I sometimes taught Fiona the wrong words because it was funny when she sounded stupid. Yeah, I'm not very proud of that now, but that's not the only reason she hated me. I was the only one in my family with red hair, and my parents loved it, especially Mom, who would do all sorts of hairstyles.
Layla, your hair looks so magical. Let's try braids today.
You know why it looks magical? Because she's a leopard clown.
You mean a leprechaun? She told me all the time that my parents pretended to like my red hair, so I wouldn't feel bad.
When you were born, Mom and Dad cried tears of ugliness for days. They even tried to give you up for adoption. No one wanted you.
And one time she even tried to chop my hair off. And things got worse when in 8th grade she failed a class and ended up being with me. As if our parents weren't enough, our history teacher, Miss Sheldon, loved comparing her to me in front of everyone.
Your assignment is just appalling, Fiona. Did you see your sisters? Magnifique! Why can't you be more like her? Didn't you do any research? What's there to research? Someone ugly said something dumb to someone boring a long time ago, and then some lame war broke out. Who cares about this stuff? A person who wants to have an educated mind? Who cares what's on the inside when the package is this pretty? Looks are not important. Huh? That's ugly people talk. Did your boyfriend ever say that? Oh, wait. I bet you've never had one. Detention. Now.
The next day before history class, I saw Fiona putting a mug of coffee on Miss Sheldon's table. While everyone else was snickering, I was instantly suspicious. Fiona, what are you up to?
What? I'm just trying to make up for my behavior yesterday.
What did you put in there?
I don't know. Maybe some spit, maybe some laxative, maybe both. Who can say?
Just then, Miss Sheldon walked in, and Fiona handed her the mug sweetly with an apology. But I tried taking it away from her. I really don't think you should have that.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
Why? Is there something in the coffee? Layla, tell me now.
No, I just don't think you need to drink coffee. It gives you really bad breath. Give that to me, please. I ended up spilling the whole thing on her white coat.
Oh my God, you dumb butt kisser. You ruined my whole plan.
The next thing I knew, I was in detention too, with Fiona for the very first time in my life. But suddenly, Fiona was freaking popular. No one liked Miss Sheldon much, and everyone thought Fiona was super cool for trying to mess with her. And now she was using her newfound power to turn everyone against me. She was the beautiful, fun blonde, and I was the red-haired, nerdy sister being called things like Carrot Top and Ketchup Head. Boy, could girls be mean. Eventually, the teasing got old, or I just learned to ignore it. But soon I was given an assignment in history class to do a presentation on Scotland. The more I studied, the happier I felt. There were so many cool red-headed Scots, and I definitely felt better about my hair. Before class, I went to the bathroom to change into a kilt. I had spent hours making it just for the presentation. But just then, my sister walked in. She pulled out her phone and started taking pictures.
Going back home, Leprechaun.
Buzz off, Fiona!
You look so stupid. What is that? A cool girl skirt?
It's a kilt. Get out of my way!
You can't leave yet. Leprechauns can't travel without a rainbow.
With that, she pulled out some paints from her backpack and squirted them all over my outfit. I ran out of the bathroom, crying angry tears. Fiona did get detention, but it was her millionth time, and she didn't give a hoot. The next year, I got a fresh start. Our dad had gotten a new job across the state, which meant I was going to a new high school. I was determined to end the teasing that my red hair gave me. Hey, Mom. Now that I'm 16, I think I should get to make some choices about my hair. I'd like to change the color.
But your hair is beautiful, sweetie.
I know you like it, Mom. But I just want to try something a little more mature, you know?
I guess if that's what you want, you're growing up so fast.
Thanks, Mom! I ran straight to the store and bought a box of black hair dye, and it worked. My hair was dark and silky. No more red.
Do you think that'll fool anyone? You can't cover up what you are, little leprechaun.
Whatever, Fiona. Don't you have something stupid to do? Go away!
Just saying. The truth always comes out.
The first day of school was like a dream come true. No one said anything about my hair. I blended right in and even got a few compliments on my cute outfit, which I'd added some accessories to myself. Fiona was right back in with the cheerleaders, but this was the first time she and I were in a co-ed school, and being around boys was making her even dumber.
The football captain and I went out last night, but he never called or texted me back. I don't get it. I think he was even hiding from me in school.
Okay, how did the date go?
It was amazing, like we were meant to be. There was just one awkward moment when this weird girl came to our table and started flirting with him. And I bit her hand really hard. I'm sure she got the message that he's not interested in her. He was just too nice to say it.
You scared him off, you psycho! How about you don't act like a jealous, blood-sucking vampire next time? But she continued her serial dating and getting heartbroken, and I was getting sick of her stories. It's not like she took my advice. Other than that, school was going great. I was doing well in my classes and had even joined the drama club as a costume designer. A play was being held soon, but the main actor fell ill right before the performance. I had to make sure his understudy fit in the costume, but I didn't even recognize him. I ran frantically through the dressing room shouting, "Hey! Is there anyone named Skylar here?"
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, I need you to take off your clothes right now. He grinned, and I blushed as people around us started laughing. I didn't... Okay, wait. Let me start over. You need to try this on right now, and I have to make sure this fits you. I'm the costume person, not a pervert.
I know, I've seen you around, Layla. Right. I'll just change into this and be right back.
This Skylar was freaking cute, and he knew my name. His shirt was missing a button, and my heart was skipping beats as I stitched it on. There! You're all set!
Thanks, Layla. Wish me luck!
Break your legs! A leg? Only one? Single! Just a figure of speech, anyway. Ugh, gosh, I sounded dumber than Fiona. So I was quite surprised when Skylar came and sat next to me at recess the next day. He was funny and sweet, and I was having a great time talking to him.
By the way, I'm part of the student council, and currently we're deciding on a theme for the homecoming dance. Any ideas? I can never think of anything other than sports themes.
If you like sports, maybe you could do the Scottish Highland Games.
Wow, I love Scottish stuff. This is a really good idea. Thanks, Layla.
Just then, Fiona dropped her butt right next to him.
Mind if I join your table? I'm Fiona, Layla's sister.
Don't mind at all.
Also, I couldn't help overhearing your conversation. Homecoming is all about the football games. We should totally do a varsity theme. I'll wear my cheerleading outfit. It'll be so cool.
I was fuming. I couldn't believe she was butting herself into this too. Didn't she have enough guys to date? They just couldn't let me be happy. I spent the rest of lunch just sitting there and listening to them talk about school sports. A couple of weeks passed, and neither Skylar nor Fiona talked to me. But I was busy with my studies and my friends, and I was happy for a change. I wasn't going to be bothered by some guy I barely knew. But then one day, Skylar stopped me in the hall on the way to class.
Hey Layla, wait up. Sorry, I haven't been around much. I've been super busy getting everything ready for homecoming week.
Oh yeah, it's whatever. I've been really busy too.
Well, I hope you're not too busy to maybe go to the dance with me. I mean, if you aren't going with anyone else.
The dance? With you? I'd love to.
Great, I'll meet you there.
I couldn't believe it. No teasing, new friends, and even a date to homecoming? I was practically skipping everywhere the rest of the day until I got home.
Word around school is that Skylar asked you to homecoming?
Yeah, and?
Well, I'm here to tell you that he isn't going with you. He is going with me.
Says who?
Says this.
She held up her phone and showed me the picture she had taken of me in a kilt with my bright red hair. Hey, get rid of that!
Tell him you can't go with him. or I show this picture to the entire school.
No, don't you dare!
It's up to you.
Fine. I didn't want to go to that stupid dance anyway. The next day at school, I told Skylar I wasn't going to go to the dance with him. He tried to change my mind, but there was no way I was going to let him see that picture of me. He looked a bit hurt, and I felt awful, but I didn't have a choice. The night of the dance, I tried to stay home. But the thought of Fiona laughing and having fun with Skylar made me feel like I might explode. I quickly got ready, then sped my car to the dance. I burst through the doors and saw Fiona dancing, surrounded by her friends. But I didn't see Skylar anywhere. Just then, there was a hand on my shoulder.
Layla, I thought you couldn't make it.
Yeah, me too, 'cause I was scared.
Scared of what?
Of you finding out the truth. Fiona was beside us with her phone in her hand. Within a few seconds, everyone's phones were going off, including Skylar's. He pulled it out of his pocket and opened a message. And there was that picture of me. She had sent it to everyone.
Wait, is that you, Layla?
You know what? Yeah, that is me. I dyed my hair black, but it's actually red as a tomato. And if you hate it, then you're all just shallow and stupid.
Hate it? I love it.
What? What?
Layla, you're cool the way you are.
So are you. May I have this dance? You may just give me 1 second, though. Listen, you bimbo. I've kept putting up with you and making excuses for your behavior, but I've had enough. You tried your best to humiliate me, but it was an epic failure, so in your face. Now please get a life and act less desperate, and I'm sure you'll be able to land a boyfriend with the same IQ as you. Just leave me alone, okay? That weekend, I took the dye out of my hair, and Fiona dyed hers red. But it wasn't real, not like mine. I was beautifully red-headed and very happy to be me.
Hi, my name is Scarlett, and I'm from New Jersey. I was born to loving parents just 3 years after my older sister Aurora. The whole family celebrated my birth, and Aurora and I were inseparable. She always had me glued to her, and we did everything together. But as I got older, our parents realized something was wrong with me. I couldn't hear them. I only reacted if they spoke really loudly or really close to me. They rushed me to the doctor, and we found out that I had a problem in my ears that made me nearly 70% deaf. A surgery would fix this issue, but I had to be much older to go through it safely. So I grew up deaf in a world full of sound. While Aurora enjoyed music, laughter, and went to school like everyone else, my parents decided to homeschool me with an army of special tutors.
There's schools for kids just like her?
Yes, but she's our special girl, and we want to give her all our attention.
Aurora had a life I dreamed of every day. She got to have heaps of friends while I was too scared to talk to the kids in my neighborhood. I once got jealous watching Aurora dance to music. My parents went out of their way to make me feel better. They bragged about me all the time.
Scarlett is beautiful, and she's a genius. She did her speech therapy in record time.
Mom, I taught my entire grade. Look at my report card.
That's nice, dear. Scarlett can lip read too, you know. Show them. It's such a fun game.
I got ready to show off my skills, but Aurora suddenly got up, threw her report card on the table, and ran into her room. What was the matter with her? I was too wrapped up in my life to understand it. But Aurora started having little meltdowns all the time. She hated that my parents always let me choose our vacation spots, choose where to eat, and bought me anything I pointed at. When Aurora asked for the same things, my parents just told her to share mine.
That's not fair. Why can't I have what she has?
We can share. I have like 100 clothes.
I'm talking to Mom.
I didn't want Aurora to hate me, so I sent her some pretty dresses as a gift. She sent them back to me, all cut up in pieces. Are you kidding me? When I reached the 7th grade, I was finally ready to get my surgery, and all my parents could do was worry about it. Even I was a little scared, but Aurora couldn't care less. She was a school topper and a cheerleader now. She was also best friends with the richest girl in town, Kat. Her dad was so powerful, he employed half the adults here. Aurora spent all her time lounging in Kat's huge pool house. Even though Kat was the worst, she was super mean and controlling. She even gave her friends strict guidelines on how to dress. One time, Aurora wore the wrong shoes with an evening dress, and her friends ditched her. Kat is a moron. You shouldn't be friends with her.
Mind your own business, turd.
I still hope that Aurora and I would be normal sisters after my surgery. But the day I went to the hospital, she didn't even show up. I went into the hospital with my heart burning with anger. If Aurora didn't care about me, then I didn't care about her anymore. When I woke up from surgery, I couldn't stop weeping. My parents' voices, the doctor's voices, and my own voice. Everything was setting me off. It took time and effort, but with my parents' support and therapy, I slowly got used to living in a sea of sound. On my first day of joining regular school, my heart was hammering. I'd literally taken my first few steps into the hallway when I saw the most beautiful girl in the entire world just casually standing by the lockers. She was looking right at me, and her mouth was moving. I read her lips without even trying. Did you just say I'm pretty?
What? How did you hear that?
I have good ears. I'm Scarlett.
I'm Marina.
I shook her hand, and my heart wanted to dance. She was actually going to be in my classes. School was exciting. It was a little weird making friends when I could still lip read. I was only 40% accurate, but that was enough to accidentally see some awkward things. I just pretended I knew nothing. But one day I saw two of our teachers talking, and I couldn't help but stare. They were talking about giving us a surprise test tomorrow. Well, it wouldn't be fair if I just prepared alone, right? So I told everyone in my class what was going to happen. Marina looked really surprised.
But how did you know?
I can lip read, just a little bit. I used to be deaf.
Wow, really?
A literal crowd jumped on me all of a sudden. People had a million questions about my life. Everyone wanted to play the lip reading game. They would mouth dumb things at me, and I had to guess. Banana olive juice? No, I love you. Aw, you're just saying. La 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 la. The whole class was rolling in laughter. I had no idea I was so fun. By the end of the day, I got invited to 3 different sleepovers. I was really enjoying my new popularity. Until one day when I learned a secret I couldn't forget. Aurora was hanging out with Kat and a gang of cheerleaders, and I saw them mouthing the words spray paint and plan. That made me curious, so I sneaked closer to them to hear what they were saying. Kat was planning to vandalize the school building this weekend, and she was making her friends help her. When I reached home, I went into Aurora's room to talk to her alone. I know what Kat is planning to do this weekend.
You little sneak! How did you know? Did you lip read us?
It doesn't matter. You can't go spray painting buildings with her. She's gonna get you in trouble.
Mind your own business.
Why do you let that jerk push you around?
That jerk's dad is literally our dad's boss. She's really powerful.
So let her get in trouble alone. She refused to listen to me. I didn't know what to do. But I couldn't let her get mixed up with that awful girl anymore. So I told my parents what she was about to do. Her bully of a friend is gonna make her vandalize the school. My parents were furious at Aurora. They yelled at her and then grounded her for the next 2 weeks.
You told on me. Isn't it enough that you're our parents' favorite? You just had to do this.
Aurora, if you get caught, you could get suspended or even expelled.
As if you care about what happens to me. Stay out of my life.
Aurora shut me out hard. After that, she ignored me at home and in school. That Monday, the principal announced that Kat and her group had been caught ruining school property, and they all got suspended. I thought that would soften Aurora's temper, but she still didn't want to talk to me. I couldn't stay upset about it for too long, because one day I opened my lockers to see flowers and a note inside. It was from Marina.
Too shy to say it in person, but ever since we met, I can't stop thinking about you. Want to go out with me?
I was so happy I was gonna faint. A real-life fairy just asked me out. I texted her yes and literally floated on air for days. I was so nervous on my first ever date that my hands were shaking. I even spilled a soda all over us. But that was the moment she chose to surprise me and kissed me. She was just perfect. Marina was funny, clever, and even my parents loved her. Our relationship was pure and blissful until we reached the 9th grade, and she finally introduced me to her mom. That was instant hate. Her mom didn't want her dating a girl, and it showed. She asked Marina to dump me, and when she didn't, she started ignoring her. She bought her siblings presents and took them to dinners. But she purposefully left Marina out. I hated to see Marina upset, and I foolishly thought if her mom got to know me, she'd like me. So for Marina's birthday, I set up a family picnic in the park as a surprise. But Marina's mom spent the whole time bragging about her siblings. My son has a new job, and my eldest daughter is going to college with a scholarship. I'm so proud of you both.
Mom, I won an art contest last month.
Art contest? Ha ha! Sounds lame. Your sister won a science scholarship. Bitter tears filled Marina's eyes, and she stormed off in a huff. She worked hard on that contest, and you called it lame just to hurt her. You're insane! I went after Marina and saw her weeping, and suddenly it reminded me of Aurora getting ignored by our parents. Unlike Marina's mom, my parents didn't give me more attention to hurt Aurora. But the end result looked exactly the same. My parents were wrong for how they treated Aurora. I was just too mad at her for not being there for me, and I couldn't see it until now. Aurora still avoided me at home and at school, but it finally made sense to me, and we didn't speak again until the evening of the spring dance. Marina and I wore the prettiest dresses and were so excited to go to our first dance together. But we'd only been there for an hour when Marina's mom showed up.
What are you doing here?
Just wanted to see all the handsome boys you rejected to date this rude girl. That one. Oh, that one.
Mom, stop it. You can't be here.
You can't date this girl. She called your own mother insane.
That's because you are insane.
People were staring at us, and someone even turned the music down. My daughter never spoke to me this way before you came along. I hate you. Her mom picked up the bowl of punch, and she was gonna throw it at me. I prepared myself for the splash, but suddenly Aurora flew in between us and pushed her away. Marina's mom went flying back right into a table of food. The entire hall watched her in pin-drop silence before exploding into whispers and laughter. Call the principal. His students attacked me. They're crazy. The teachers were furious at Aurora for pushing her and disrupting the dance. They gave her 6 weeks of detention and called our parents to pick us up. When we got home, they tried to yell at Aurora, but I stopped them. Marina's mom deserves everything she got. You should be proud of Aurora for standing up for me.
She stood up for you this one time. Before this, she was planning to vandalize buildings. And before that, she was constantly fighting with you.
That's you. Your fault, not hers. Yeah, you heard me. You were so eager to make me feel good, you ignored Aurora since we were kids. That's why she hated me.
We may have given you more attention, but we loved you both equally.
No way. You acted like I didn't even matter. Nothing I ever did was good enough for your praise, while you wrote actual songs about Scarlet.
Aurora, you were healthy. Topping your classes, cheerleading, making friends. You didn't need us as much as she did.
That's not true. I was upset. Making friends with bullies and getting into trouble. I would be suspended or expelled if it weren't for Scarlet. I'm a mess. If you loved me as much as you loved Scarlet, you would have seen that.
Aurora burst into tears while my parents looked stunned.
We did take your achievements for granted. And yes, we were more worried about your sister. But we love you both the same.
Then why don't you act like it?
We didn't want Scarlet to be jealous of your life. We worried about her getting hurt in a million ways, but that's not an excuse. If we let you think for even a second that we didn't love you, then we really messed up. I'm so sorry, Aurora.
We love you both more than our own lives. We're sorry we haven't shown it. We'll do better from now on.
Aurora grabbed my parents in a hug, and I wiped my tears off and joined them too.
Hi, I'm Tina from Poland. Please like and subscribe. I was born into a super rich home. My dad owned the largest store in the country. And my 2 brothers were billionaires as well. My long brown hair and my blue eyes caught the attention of everyone whenever I went out with my dad.
Wow, your daughter is so beautiful.
People would shower me with all sorts of gifts. I loved it a lot. I mean, who wouldn't? I would always want to go out with Dad. But he wouldn't let me, and he had his reasons. I was the only girl in the family. My mom left when I was a baby. When she left, Dad said I became really sick. I was taken to the best hospital in the country. They did all they could, but I didn't get any better. I spent a year in the hospital, and eventually I got better.
I'm so glad you're fine now, sweetheart.
Since then, my dad and brothers walked on eggshells around me, and they spoiled me silly. They bought me the most expensive gifts. My dad even got me the most expensive necklace in the world. I love them, but sometimes they do too much. The only person who treated me like a normal kid was Jerry, our next-door neighbor. Jerry and I were inseparable growing up, and we had the best time together. when people made fun of my long brown hair. Jerry always defended me. We would play silly pranks on my brothers and laugh as the pranks played out. That all changed when Jerry's parents decided to move to another country. Jerry's mom got a sweet fashion deal in Paris, and they had to move. I was devastated. I wanted to sneak Jerry into my room so that we could start living together. But my brothers found out, Jerry left, and I was all alone. It took me a while to make friends in high school, even though I was the prettiest girl in school. I had gotten so used to Jerry that I couldn't just flow with any other person. One day I was on YouTube watching Luna videos. When I stumbled upon a channel, it was Jerry's. He'd gotten so big and handsome. He was a popular chef in Paris with over 10 million subscribers. I stayed up all night watching his videos. I wanted to drop a comment, but I didn't know what to type. I was scared that he wouldn't remember me anymore. Meanwhile, I'd gotten into a nationwide beauty pageant, and I was one of the favorites to win. That was all my dad talked about.
You need to win the pageant, sweetie. Whatever it takes.
I would always feel the pressure choking me when I went to school. Diane, the only person I was able to bond with at school, noticed and tried to take the pressure off.
Let's go to your favorite restaurant. I'm sure you'll feel better after.
We went to the restaurant and she got me my favorite meal. I smiled as the waiter placed the food on the table. And just as I munched on the delicious meal, the cutest guy walked in. Every lady in the restaurant stared and was in awe as he sat by the window. He looked at me and with a gorgeous smile he winked. My face turned red and my heart raced as he winked. I quickly looked away and focused on my meal. Just as we were about to leave the restaurant, I slipped and I was sure that I would fall. But the cute guy caught me.
You should watch where you're going. I should be the one falling, not you.
Why would you fall?
I would fall for you, of course.
I giggled in excitement as my face turned red. I looked at Diane, who was already dancing in the corner.
I'm Brian. How have I not seen such a beautiful creature like you around here before?
You didn't look closely enough. I'll see you around.
I grabbed Diane and we rushed out of the restaurant. Since then, I met Brian every time I went to the restaurant. He would come over to me and we would start talking. Turns out he was pretty funny and smart. I became so fond of him and we spent even more time together. Date one night, and when we returned, he walked me to the front door and planted a kiss on my lips. I was so excited because I had wished that Brian would be my first kiss. I began to really like him. And it turns out I wasn't the only one. My brothers and even my dad loved him.
He is the son of the wealthiest man in the country. We need the connection, honey.
He helped me with my preparation for the beauty pageant. And with time, we became a power couple in school. Apparently, Joy, the biggest bully in school, was also a contestant in the beauty pageant and was obsessing over Brian.
I wonder what he sees in you.
Things he doesn't see in you, apparently.
She did everything in her power to stop me from dating him, but she failed miserably. Her face would turn red when she saw us together after her failed attempts. It was so hilarious. I got to school one day and I got the biggest shock of my life. Jerry, my runaway neighbor, was sitting right next to my seat in class.
Jerry, what are you doing here?
I ran to meet him and he met me halfway. He lifted me up and hugged me tight. Wow, he even looked way cuter than in the videos. Brian saw us and he quickly moved to hold my hand.
Who is he?
Oh, this is Jerry. We were close friends when we were much younger, but he's a huge star now.
Huge star? How come I've never heard of him?
Don't mind Tina here, I'm just a chef.
What are you doing here, though?
Oh, I moved back here. My mom wants to spend more time here, and I miss this place as well.
I was so excited that I hugged him again. Brian pulled me back and placed his arm on my shoulder.
It's good to see you, Jerry.
I waved at Jerry as I walked out of the class with Brian. The wonderful memories I shared with him growing up rushed back to me as he smiled at me. He came to my place after school and we spoke for a long time. He told me all about Paris, how he learned to cook, and how he became a teenage sensation overnight.
My mom helped me with everything, and that's why I love her so much.
I'm really happy for you, Jerry, and I'm glad you're back.
Just as Jerry was about to leave, Brian walked in.
Oh, Jerry's here.
I was on my way already. Let me leave you two alone. Good night.
Jerry sounded so cool and mature, and he was dressed well too. Brian and I spent time together, but all I could think about was Jerry. I started spending more and more time with Jerry, and I began to realize just how funny and smart he was. Whenever his brown eyes stared at me, my heart would melt, and I could feel the butterflies in my stomach dancing. I was falling for him. And honestly, I loved it. Brian, on the other hand, had been buying me nice gifts since Jerry came back. He even got me a very expensive car, which I really loved. One time I was walking with Diane, and all of the sudden I tripped. And as I was about to fall, Jerry, out of nowhere, caught me. He held me in his arms for a while, and I just stared into his gorgeous eyes. He reached out to kiss me, but Brian walked up to us that moment.
What's going on here?
I pushed Jerry aside and ran away. I was so confused I didn't know what to do. The day of the beauty pageant grew closer, and I began to panic.
Don't be a baby. We've practiced, and I've helped you a lot. I'm sure you'll be fine.
He sounded so much like a jerk, but he was right. We had practiced so much, and I could feel the confidence building inside of me that all crumbled when Joy the witch accused me of stealing.
She would never do that.
Yes, she did, and I have the proof. She stole my expensive necklace and hid it in her locker. I saw her when she did it.
You're such a liar. Why would I steal your cheap necklace?
Why don't we find out if I'm a liar or not? Then, open your locker.
To my biggest surprise, the necklace was placed on one of the books in my locker.
How did it get there?
My jaw dropped as the principal picked up the necklace. Everyone looked at me weird, including Brian. My dad and brothers were certain that when I was called into the principal's office that I couldn't steal. They had bought even more expensive necklaces for me. So why would I steal one?
You are hereby disqualified from the beauty pageant, and you must serve detention for a week.
I ran out of the principal's office crying. I couldn't believe it. Everyone would think I'm a thief and they wouldn't believe me anymore. Jerry walked out of the shadows and he came over to me.
Hey, I heard what happened. Are you okay?
Leave me alone. Jerry, I know you think I'm a thief as well.
I could never think of you like that. And I know very well you are not a thief.
I'm glad you believe me because no one else in the school does, including Brian.
I don't know what to do. I started crying, and that was when Jerry moved closer to me and hugged me tightly.
Just ignore them. We'll figure something out. Trust me.
My first day in detention sucked. People looked at me differently, including the teachers. Jerry then came and made everything easier. We spent time together in detention and we got even closer. He stayed with me all the way through, and he also walked me home just to make sure I was safe. The beauty pageant was days away, and the entire country was buzzing because of it. Joy was the clear candidate to win, but there were talks about McKeely winning as well. She was my favorite. She was so pretty and kind. She had the cutest blue eyes I have ever seen. Jerry made sure I continued with my practice, even though I didn't want to.
You can still be called back in for the pageant, so you need to be ready.
On my way back from detention one day, I felt really sick. My knees became weak and I was dizzy. I fell to the ground and was rushed to the hospital. When my dad got to the hospital, he demanded that I'd be transferred to the same hospital I was admitted to when I was much younger. I was in a coma for 2 weeks. Everyone was worried sick. Brian, who had disappeared since Joy accused me of stealing, came back and stayed by my side. Jerry was there too, and they both argued from time to time about who deserved me more.
How could you abandon her when she needed you the most? You don't deserve her.
And who are you to decide that? She's my girlfriend, and there is nothing you can do about that.
The doctors ran some tests, and they found out I had a rare kidney disease and I needed a kidney transplant. Dad couldn't be the donor because he had the same disease. My brothers were on a very important business trip, and they weren't even told that I was in the hospital. Diane gave excuses and Brian ran away again. Time was running out and I needed a donor quickly.
I'll be the donor.
Jerry stepped up and he donated one of his kidneys. The surgery was successful, and weeks later I was discharged from the hospital. I got back home and continued the preparation for the beauty pageant with Jerry. Some days before the pageant, the school found out that Joy planted the necklace in my locker just to get me kicked out of the pageant. She confessed after she was caught trying to pull the same trick on Michaela. She was suspended and I was called back in for the pageant, just like Jerry had predicted. I became so nervous when I got the news. Sweat poured out of me and I felt a tightness in my chest. Jerry noticed and held my hand gently.
You'll be fine, Tina. This is what you trained for, and I am so proud of you.
He smiled at me and I hugged him tightly.
What would I do without you?
The day came and I was well prepared for it. I wore my finest gown. Dad had just gotten it for me and it looked absolutely gorgeous. My brothers hired the best stylist in the country, and she did a wonderful job. They all sat in the front row and they applauded when I stepped on stage. I nailed the many questions I was asked and felt my confidence building as the show went on. After what seems like an eternity, it was time to decide the winner. We all held hands and hoped for the best. Michaela got second place with a standing ovation, and my name was announced as the winner of the pageant. I was so happy, tears rolled down my cheeks. But out of nowhere, Brian came on stage and held my hand. I yanked his hand off and walked down to where Jerry stood. Brian ran to meet me and he grabbed me violently. Jerry intervened and punched him right in the face.
Leave her alone! You don't deserve her!
Brian ran off crying like a baby while Jerry held my hand gently and smiled at me. My heart melted and my face turned red.
You look really beautiful.
Just kiss me already.
He leaned in and gave me the warmest kiss ever. I held on to him as everyone cheered us on. It was the best night ever.